This man, who collects trash, is actually an expert in antiques. With just one glance, he realized that the brazier a child was using to crack nuts was a valuable relic. He cleverly used a piece of candy to convince the boy to lend it to him. Once he had it in his hands, he examined it carefully and confirmed that the brazier was at least 800 years old. Its minimum value was in the seven-figure range. Not wanting to miss this opportunity to get rich, he asked the boy to call his parents and say that he wanted to buy it as an incense burner. The boy ran home, but his father came out furious and immediately accused the man of being a scammer. The man quickly explained that he needed something to burn incense at home, and that's why he was collecting things around the village. The boy's father flatly refused, saying it was a relic passed down from his own father and not for sale. But the man insisted it was just a piece of scrap and offered $12 for it. Hearing the price, the father hesitated but decided to try and get more, saying he wouldn't sell it for less than $15. The man pretended the price was too high and walked away, but the father didn't want to miss the chance and called him back to negotiate. In the end, the man bought the piece for $15, even though it was worth hundreds of thousands. With cash in hand, he went to the neighbor's house in search of more treasures, because there were rumors that the neighbor's ancestors had worked in the royal palace and kept valuable items. So, he stood at the door, shouting loudly. The excited neighbor came rushing out and asked him to wait a moment. He quickly brought out a pile of plates and said he still had many jars to bring out. He went back inside to get them. The man looked through the plates, but found they were all ordinary and worthless, until the neighbor returned holding two blue and white vases. The man suppressed his excitement and pretended they didn't interest him, saying maybe they could be used as flower vases for his wife. He offered to buy everything except the plates, but the neighbor got nervous and said he would only sell them if the whole batch was taken. The man had no choice and paid $39 for everything. To protect the vases, he even took a blanket from the neighbor's house. As the man left, the neighbor thought he was a fool. What he didn't know was that the man had lived a completely different life before. In his past life, he had been very poor, and in this second chance, he had vowed to change his destiny. The next day, he called a friend to join him in making money and took him to Tony's house to buy some plates, because he clearly remembered that Tony had a very valuable antique. He stood at the door and shouted Tony's name. Tony came out annoyed, but to avoid raising suspicion, the man lied and said his cousin was getting married and needed plates. Hearing there was money to be made, Tony quickly brought out a bunch of plates to sell. But after washing them, the man realized they were worthless. He then pretended the number of plates wasn't enough. Tony went back in and returned with a plate he used to feed his dog. After cleaning it, the man realized it was exactly the antique he'd been looking for and bought it immediately. As they left, his friend asked how much it was worth, and when he heard it was $10,000, he was speechless. The next day, they went to the city to sell it. At the antique shop, the owner recognized its value and offered $5,000. The man turned around and left. The owner stopped him, and after intense negotiation, finally bought the plate for $20,000. Just as they were about to leave, a mysterious man suddenly appeared.